Hi, let's build a Liuda Panoramica. Comes as a kit. And it's around probably 30 minutes to build and glue everything. Today we'll just be looking at the dry assembly. Okay. And before we start, I think it would be good to see finished product. So the finished camera looks like this. This now is a dry assembly. I recommend doing a dry assembly always before gluing everything, just to make sure you get everything correctly. There are some tricky parts, some parts that need to be glued in the correct position for the camera to function correctly. And so let's start looking at it. So this side, there's a little bit of a notch in the front plate, and that's to pull the dart slide. The camera is 6x3 format, and 6x3 format meaning that it will, in its natural position, it will stand tall like this. So we take pictures like this. The camera tall, not like this. So knobs are on the side. Knobs will go inside here, and the dart slide is in the side of the knobs. The top of the camera has a round surface here, so you know that when looking at the front plate, the top is round. The top right has a little space for a pin that locks the lens mount, and the bottom is square. There's no round side here, and it's important to know which one is the bottom, because this is where you want to mount the tripod. The top will have a space for a cold shoe mount. Now we'll put this aside because you won't have a finished camera when you start, but you will have a front plate, and the front plate you can use this one, put it on the side, put it in the corner, and we'll reference this later. So put it so that the pin is in the top right and the notch is on the right side. And let's put the lens on top so we remember how the lens is mounted. In this configuration, it will be pointing towards us, so the lens is pointing towards us. When I will refer to the front of a camera, I mean the front is looking at the lens, looking forward. So you're taking a picture and looking forward. And I will put this here for now. Now, which parts we need? We need these parts here first to build the core. So we'll just take some of this off. For now, we'll move this on the side, and we will need these two, this with the recess and this with the squares, and the other parts we can put them aside for now. Now, in the instructions is mentioned a top and bottom, but they're just for convenience of holding things together. You will see in a second. Now, you will see there are different sizes here. Is because this camera is built in layers, and the layers are put in a way so that there's always one part, going over and making the space light tight. And if we want to make a rule, the shortest part are the part of the inner core, and then there's an intermediate core, and then the external is 3 layers. So let's start with the inner core, which is the part where the film will be, and you will see that all these pins, they all have one side with more pins, and these pins should point forward towards the lens. You see they all have the thing, and you will see that some have round holes and some have square or rectangular holes, and you might want to have so rectangular with rectangular and round with round, and go with this. Now, in the instructions, you will see that is reference at top and bottom, but it has nothing to do with this, with the configuration of the camera, where this is the bottom, where the tripod mounts. It's just for convenience now, when we will assemble, it's convenient to have a bottom, and you will see why. So first of all, we take this piece here, and we call it bottom for now, even if in real life will be side part, but for now, this will be the bottom. And pin pointing forward, pin pointing forward. These are, any orientation, just make the pin points forward, and you see, we'll go here. And when we do this, you will see that there is a little, the pins are protruding here a little bit. So if we were to just to have it here, it would be a bit unstable, you see. So that's why we want to have this other part here, the part with the squares, pins forward always. And now this sits flat, and it will make it easier. And that's why we have this temporary bottom. Again, pins here, pins forward, goes here, pins forward, small, is the small piece with the round holes, like this, and then again, pins forward, and up the small holes, and goes like this. You will see that this is a little bit wiggly because the tolerances here are designed, you know, to work for gluing. And now to help stabilizing this, we can use this plate. Now this is symmetrical in all the directions, so it really doesn't have an orientation. The all important thing is that we, you know, we put it, oops, come on. Okay. Yeah, just lines up with all the holes here, with all the pins that we put forward, and now it sticks like this. And now this is good. Now at this point, we can, usually I grab the camera like this, so we have this 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers holding in each side, and this is the time we put this. This rectangular part here can be towards the front, so we put it here and hold it with a finger. Again, rectangular part here towards the front is the front because you remember we have the pins here, and go here. And now this is the important part, because if we make a mistake here, it will be a bit of a problem. This is where the tripod will be, and we said we want the tripod to be at the bottom. Which one is the bottom? Put the see where the knobs are. You remember knobs are on the right, no? Dark slide is here, and this should be in the bottom. So if we put this to match this one here, it will be the bottom. Another thing we can do, we can either put this now, or this will make it even easier. You see here that there's the little recess for the dark slide. So pin top right, pin top right. You remember this pin here? This lines up, and we'll go like this. And the space for the dark slide here. This is the exit of the dark slide. So we can also put this first here, and then, yeah. Oops. And now we know that this is the bottom of the camera, and this is where you want to have this part. Always pins forward. Yeah, hold it, and this will be the top. And this is basically a dry assembly of the core of a camera. This is usually painted black. At least I recommend painting black at least the interior here, where the film spools are go, and this part here. So just let me show an extra part here. This is where the film gate will go, and later we'll see if you mount a lens, probably you want to use this to trim some shims of paper to change the focal distance. But if you are using as a pinhole, then it really doesn't matter, because pinhole is not affected by that. And this is where, but you don't want to glue this. This is probably the last piece we should glue in the camera, because this is crucial if you're mounting a lens to get in infinity focus, right? So we don't want to do it yet, but just to show you, how this all fits. And nothing, you can, usually I assemble this part and I glue it, and when I glue it, I also draw some, before, after I do the dry assembly, I draw some lines with a pencil, so that when I glue it together, I see that the lines that I drew are lining up, and I know the orientation is correct. But it's always good always to reference this at every step and make sure that you have the orientation correct. Otherwise, you will have a camera with a tripod mount on the top, and you really don't want that. Now, there's only one last part that I recommend gluing first, and this this part here. There are some little pins that go here, and I thought this is the right time to show them. In the pins magnet screw box, 4 of them, they are L-shaped. You want to put the tall parts towards the center of the camera, and they can be mounted like this. You can mount them with super glue. Put a double super glue here in each side and in the bottom, and stick them, mount them here. Just need to make sure, again, because there's a little bit of tolerance here, that when you, with the super glue will be relatively easy, that they are absolutely perfect, absolutely perpendicular to the surface here. Otherwise you will have troubles later putting the front plate on top. Nothing, you can just glue this part together, and then it will be very easy later to put the exterior parts, the parts where we will have fun decorating. Cheers!